Shout out to 11-bit for nailing the look of the average 30-year-old British woman. So we're back in New London and the Pilgrims are setting themselves on fire to make me colonize Winterhome, which just shows what type of genuine psychos I'm dealing with. Like, I just made this decision and this is their response? Yeah, I'm gonna need more guards around the city if I'm dealing with crazies like this. I can't go to Winterhome yet because the whiteout is traveling through its area, so I just focus on the city's problems. And by problems, I just mean the Pilgrims. They think that relying solely on a large oil-based generator in New London isn't the way forward, and I just don't get why. So to make them shut up, I agree to do some other things they want so they stop protesting. How do the Pilgrims respond? More protest, of course. Fortunately, they're only pushing people away because the average New Londoner trusts my leadership. But since they're gonna keep acting like a public nuisance, I'm gonna treat them like one. Yeah, they also eat your pets too. I saw it on the TV. I have a choice on how guards should deal with protesters, and I think they should keep in mind in these tough times that you have to break a few eggs to make an omelet. I'm just gonna say, don't listen to the Pilgrim propaganda. As you can see, she threw herself at the guards, meaning they were clearly in fear for their lives and had to act accordingly. The Pilgrims' anti-Stewart agenda just isn't working because I'm doing too good of a job. I have the absolute trust of New London, and even a good portion of the Pilgrims can't deny that I'm alright. So many people are trying to immigrate to New London, but now the policy is to only allow productive migrants in, leading to a lot of complaints about people getting separated from their families and wanting that law to change. Their relatives are waiting to be let in, and all I can say is they better have a nice tent out there because they're going to be waiting a while. Finally, we explored the area around Winterhome to confirm that, yeah, the ruined city is still a ruined city, but now we're actually going to make some use out of these ruins by placing a settlement here. The game is stressing that I have to be very ready for Winterhome, and considering how calm the city is right now, I feel it's time. I do have an option to send Pilgrim leaders over to Winterhome, and I think that's a great opportunity. Why deal with your problems when you can just throw them somewhere else? With a stalwart rally, I get all the guard squads I need to start sending them over. Winterhome is turning into our prison colony, and with how inhospitable it really is our own Australia. Since Winterhome is very dangerous, we're gonna need to make sure our hospitals are gonna be up to the task, so if our doctors need to get a little unconventional, they can do it. The subjects are gonna be mainly Pilgrims anyway, so that's enough for over 2/3 of the council to be fine with it. Well, if you don't want to get experimented on, simply don't get sick. God, the Pilgrims really hate the idea of personal responsibility. Later, I get a guy trying to get out of a life sentence by killing himself, which I guess would technically mean he completed his life sentence, but the Pilgrims are saying that's not fair and want him revived, and you know what? This time I'm with them on that issue. You're not escaping justice, George. It is finally time to settle Winterhome, and we have a choice once again whether to continue following the Stalwart's plan or listen to the Pilgrims. And I think it's really funny how you still have a choice here. Like, I've been following the Stalwarts the whole time and forcing Pilgrim leaders to go here because they're annoying, and at the last second I could just face the Stalwarts and be like, nah, not feeling the plan anymore. Like, a little part of me is just tempted to click settle because of how funny it'd be narratively, but I resist those thoughts and decide to salvage Winterhome. So, I'm in a race against time. I sent our best miners here to pack up as many cores as they could in Winterhome before the air becomes too toxic for people to be around. The Pilgrims aren't happy that I'm making this place uninhabitable, but that type of complaining is why they ended up here. So since the area is toxic, we have choices on how we approach frostbreaking. We either do it slow and safe, or fast with casualties. And now that I think about it, I just sent my political opponents to do dangerous labor to fuel my economy and hopefully die. Oh my god, why does this strategy feel so familiar?
Hans, are we the baddies?
Well, I still gotta get those 35 cores somehow.
Rumors of ghosts in Winterhome are unfounded. Please do not propagate them.
Man, people will say anything to get out of work. Since people keep complaining about the casualties while doing frostbreaking, I say I'm gonna make a machine to automate frostbreaking to do it to save people's lives, cause I care about them that much. I got an update to the George Chapman story. Now I get an option to add a viewing area to have people watch prisoners get punished. Man is about to have the worst day of his life, and everybody in the city is about to see it. But back in Winterhome, things are heating up with the Pilgrims organizing to sabotage the operation here. And can we just zoom in on this Pilgrim's name? This is some Kojima tier naming. Like, I guess Carl Murderer was just too on the nose for a radical terrorist, so they went with a much more subtle Charlotte Butcher. Still, I have to deal with the sabotage somehow, and I figure with some better surveillance, I can keep those rebels in line. All things considered, it's not even that bad over here. In New London, things are also changing for the better. The city no longer puts the kids in mines, only in schools, so we can stop Pilgrim ideas from spreading to the next generation. Now, once I get the cores I needed, I have a choice. Do I wrap it up in Winterhome or get every core I can out of there? And I think the answer is obvious.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
However, I don't get to do it long because once the generator is upgraded, it triggers the transition to the next chapter. The Pilgrims, I guess, are tired of taking L's, so they're organizing their vengeance for me making Winterhome uninhabitable. London never changes, does it? So, I gotta choose how to deal with the disorder in New London, and as much as I want to reclaim the authority of the captain, that'd be way too hard because of all the tough laws I'd have to pass. Despite all the problems the Pilgrims have been causing me, I'm gonna be the bigger man and show them mercy by going down the reconciliation path. First, I gotta use my cards to keep the peace in the districts, and then I had to talk to the stalwarts to get their demands to keep peace. They want me to implement a personal responsibility agenda, so I'll do it. I can't believe I have to turn into Ben Shapiro to save the city, but it is what it is. But it's only getting worse for me, because with all the fighting around the city, the people are losing faith in me.
Do not blame all your problems on the steward. Take responsibility for your own domain.
Yeah, announcer guy, you're not helping. Also, why am I still getting events about Winterhome when we've left that city? Guess there really were ghosts there. The Stalwarts agenda wasn't very hard to pass through the council, so we very quickly got the Stalwarts to settle down. Now I just needed to focus on calming down the angry elephant in the room, but to even get them to want to talk to me, I had to get rid of robots in the workplace. Now I have to pass one of their agendas, and I figured creating a more sustainable city would be the most doable. It harmonizes pretty well with what the Stalwarts want, so it's a no-brainer. I really don't know what changed later on, but it's like a switch flipped in my citizens' brains, and they started trusting me. I don't get what happened, but I'll take it. Also, despite me being more than halfway through the Civil War quest, I get the news that the Stalwarts are recruiting child soldiers. The situation is getting under control and they're gonna come out on top, but they pulled this stunt. Like, they could go to the Olympics with throwing skills like this. Eventually, I build the guard outposts needed to enforce peace in the violent districts. Soon, all the major fighting is ended and we get a little bit of peace. My reward? Everybody loses trust in me again. I'm legitimately just dumbstruck. Wow, you're doing your job competently? Get this guy out of here. Some shadowy force has to be scheming against me. There's no other way. I got everyone to chill, but since the town has no trust in me, I can't pass the peace accords in the council. I figure the squalor is a main source of my unpopularity right now, so I'm thankful the Pilgrims made me research moss filtration towers so I can just build them, reducing the squalor in the city. So after spamming those out and making a few promises to the factions, I'm able to regain the trust of the community that I mysteriously lost. Now the people are looking at me like, hurry up and end this war already, like they weren't the ones stopping me from passing the peace accords. But despite the 2/3 majority needed, I was pretty confident I'd have the votes.
The proposed law has been approved.
With that, the Civil War was ended with New London standing stronger than ever, without me having to go full dictator or exiling a bunch of people. Oh, okay, she likes me. I thought they were setting up a future enemy like it was a Marvel's post-credit scene. Hope you guys enjoyed my playthrough of the Frostpunk 2 campaign, cause I had a lot of fun playing it. If you did, remember to give me a like, especially if you want me to keep trying different games on this channel. Thank you to my alumni on Patreon for generously funding my utopian ambitions. There's a lot of different stuff I want to do on this channel soon, so make sure you subscribe and I'll make it worth your time.